Coming up tonight on YCN News, Stevens High School students will keep their freedom to eat wherever they want during lunch. Details coming up. New London Barn Playhouse offers up some more summer theatrics. And high school football practice has begun. We've got words with a local coach. For more news, weather, and sports, YCN News is coming up in just a sec, bringing you your local view.
Now, your daily digest of the Dartmouth Lake Sunapee region, southern Vermont, and Windsor County. News, sports, weather, and all that is happening in our area. The news on YCN, your local view.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to YCN News. It is Thursday, August 13th. I'm Kurt Weedy. Well, after months of back and forth debate, the Claremont School Board voted 6-1 last night in favor of keeping Stevens High School an open campus. This 3-decade-old tradition allows the school's juniors and seniors to leave campus during their 30-minute lunch break. It allows them to eat anywhere else they want in the town. That privilege came under question after the completion of the high school's renovation project. The board even voted to close the campus by a 4-3 decision just last month. But after continued and heated debate and presentations from Stevens principal Pat Barry, along with members of the student body, the board voted to overturn that decision by a very convincing margin. Last night's meeting was held at the Sugar River Valley Technical Center and was witnessed by dozens of students themselves in the audience. First day of classes, whether the students like it or not, is set for Wednesday, August 26th. On a different note, a 32-year-old Hartford, Vermont man accused in the 2013 death of his girlfriend's toddler was released on home detention this week. This coming after prosecutors acknowledged that there's no longer a great likelihood of his conviction. The news comes out after defense attorneys uncovered new information in this case, according to the Valley News, that remains sealed in court documents and therefore have not yet been made public. Luke Thoreau was charged in August of last year with second-degree murder in the death of 2-year-old Jamal Jaden Turkman, who was found unresponsive the morning of July 4th, 2013. Thoreau was released to his home in White River Junction, Vermont, and is under electronic monitoring 24 hours a day. Now, he must abide by a list of rules, including a ban on alcohol and weapons, as part of the terms. Switching gears, the Newport Fire Department got a special visit yesterday evening from someone who may not be alive today had it not been for their help. Local businessman and former co-owner of the now-defunct Violet supermarket, Dana Violet, stopped by the department to thank the first responders who had resuscitated him after he suffered a heart attack back in May. Newport Fire and EMS personnel arrived on the scene in May to find Violet unresponsive but without a pulse. First responders were eventually able to resuscitate him before transporting him to a local hospital. Dana, along with his wife Dottie Violet, presented members of the department with awards and thanked each of the first responders who were there to assist him. Well, turning to the roadways, your morning commutes will remain unaffected by this, but for those of you who do your traveling at night, listen up. The New Hampshire Department of Transportation announced earlier this week that it will begin overnight paving on Interstate 89 in New London and Grantham in the next coming days. Paving is set to begin this coming Sunday and end August 21st. It will happen on the 8-mile stretch between exit 12A in George's Mills to exit 13 in Grantham. Now, work will take place after dark, with crews beginning just after 8 p.m. and wrapping up around 5 in the morning each day. The New Hampshire DOT said in a press release that only one of the 2 ramps will be closed each night and that the traffic will be detoured to the next exit to turn around. The Brattleboro Retreat in southern Vermont is hosting the 6th annual Ride for Heroes. Coming up this Saturday, August 15th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. is the event to show support for military personnel, law enforcement, firefighters, correctional officers, and EMTs. The escorted motorcycle ride will begin at 10 in the morning and follow a route through southern Vermont's beautiful mountains and valleys, including going past historic villages and waterways. All this in support of the retreat's uniformed service program honoring men and women suffering from addiction, depression, and related issues as a result of their service. If you would like to take part yourself, visit www.brattlebororetreat.org. This truly is a great summertime event for a great cause. Well, after the break on YCN News, the New London Barn Playhouse offers up a new performance this summer. We've got more details for you after the break, including words from one of the acting interns there. That's coming up, so don't touch that remote.
The YCN News continues in a moment.
Welcome back to YCN News, everyone. It is Thursday, August 13th, and thank you for staying with us tonight. I'm Kurt Weedy. Well, if you are a muzzleloader hunter in the state of Vermont, the deadline for the 2015 muzzleloader hunting season for antlerless deer is fast approaching. August 28th, this month, is the day to submit your application for the lottery. Now, there are two categories to apply in, one for landowners and one for property owners. Over 9,600 antlerless deer permits will be issued this year. Applications are available at license agents or online. That's at www.vtfishandgame.com. On a political note, Ohio Governor John Kasich has taken to Twitter to thank a top New Hampshire Republican strategist for his support. This week, Tom Rath announced his endorsement of the Ohio governor's presidential bid. His support is gaining momentum in the first-in-the-nation primary state that does hold the key to his White House bid. Rath has chosen Kasich from a field that also includes former Florida Governor Jeb Bush, whose brother George W. counted Rath as an advisor during the year 2000 election. Seen as significant to his campaign, Kasich tweeted, "In New Hampshire, Tom Rath is a guy you want on your side. Thanks for joining the team, John." Always great to see politicians utilizing social media. Well, get your paddles ready for a 2-day river adventure with canoes and kayaks. It's called Paddle Power. West Central Behavioral Health at Dartmouth College is hosting a journey down the Connecticut River to raise awareness about suicide prevention. Paddle Power is taking place this Saturday and Sunday, and it's not too late to get involved yourself. For full information, call 603-448-0126 or go online to www.wcbh.org. Well, it looks like a little bit of Hollywood is coming to Dover, Vermont once again. This year marks the 3rd year the Independent Television and Film Festival will be held in the town. For 7 years, the festival took place in good old Hollywood, but the executive director decided to move it out of the busy city to a quaint Vermont mountain town. That according to Vermont Public Radio. This festival attracts all kinds of hopeful producers looking to get their big break, including independent web TV producers that show their work to representatives from HBO, CBS, Starz, and IndieWire. The festival runs September 24th through the 27th. And finally, the New London Barn Playhouse is at it again. Their last show, Steel Magnolias, ended just on Sunday, but they have just kicked off their current show, The Mystery of Edwin Drood. YCN's Lynn Solomon had the chance to see this great show and spoke with acting intern Talia Suskauer. She filled one of the lead roles in this play. Lynn?
Lynn Solomon coming to you from the New London Barn Playhouse, and I have just had the pleasure of seeing The Mystery of Edwin Drood, based on the Charles Dickens unfinished novel. So it truly is a mystery. If you think you've seen it all at the Barn Playhouse, then you haven't been to this show. It is a blast from beginning to end. Tons of audience participation. You actually get to vote who some of the endings and some of the villains and the heroes are at the end. So it's really one you can't be missed. It runs until August 23rd. And joining me now, we have one of the lovely interns that we've been able to see all year, Talia Suskauer. It's nice to see you.
Nice to see you too, Lynn.
You have an awesome lead role in this as Emma Rose.
Thank you.
Yep.
Rosebud.
Rosebud, right. It's in typical Dickens fashion, right?
Yes.
With the funny names for
Absolutely.
everybody. Yes. And it really is a great part for you. How did you enjoy it?
I appreciate that. It was a lot of fun. It's a part that I wouldn't consider myself to normally play, but so it's amazing that I was cast as this, and I feel really, really good about it. And the show is wonderful, and it's been a really big challenge, but
a huge
a lot of
challenge.
fun. Yeah.
You have to rehearse many different endings. There's 6 or so different endings.
There's 6 different lovers endings, and I don't even know how many possible complete endings altogether.
Wow, well
Yeah.
that's really fun. Well, you've got a great cast up there too. So many people on stage. I was amazed at the choreography on that tiny little stage.
You did a really wonderful job.
Over 20 people on that stage at once. Yeah, well of course it's directed by the artistic director, Keith Coughlin, who also did the choreography.
Yes.
He must have been real fun to work with.
Yes, amazing, and his beautiful wife, Sarah Case, as well. They're an amazing team, and I really loved working with both of them.
Great. Well, you're originally from Florida,
Yes,
and
I
you're
am.
going into your sophomore year, which is you've got an amazingly huge voice for such a
Thank
young
you.
girl. How's your summer in New Hampshire been?
It's been amazing, incredible, really, really hard work, but it all pays off. I've met some amazing friends and worked with some amazing, amazing people that have come in for the shows, and it's just been an all-around incredible experience. I will never forget the summer.
We are so lucky. Every summer we get such talented artists from New York, but we get nice young rising stars like yourself who we will see back one day.
Thank
So
you.
best wishes with the rest of the show,
I
and good luck
appreciate
in your sophomore year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lynn and Talia, and a reminder that this current show, The Mystery of Edwin Drood, goes until August 23rd, so go and check it out yourself. Coming up next on YCN News, we've got some River Valley Chronicle for you coming out of the Lebanon Opera House. Host Elizabeth Durazio speaks to Chrissy Flythe of the Lebanon Parks and Recreation Department. Today's conversation focuses on the Lebanon Farmers Market. That conversation is coming up for you, so please don't go anywhere.
The YCN News continues in a moment.
Welcome back to YCN News. I'm Mike Pizzone. Well, it was another beautiful day out there today with sunny skies and warm temperatures, and it looks like that trend will continue for the foreseeable future. Skies will remain mostly clear this evening with calm winds and a low of around 59 degrees, before another bright sunny day tomorrow with a high of 80 degrees. Things will cool down considerably tomorrow evening to a nice comfortable low of 63 degrees, paving the way for a great start to the weekend with mostly sunny skies and a high of 83 during the day Saturday. There's a slight chance for thunderstorms later in the afternoon, before a partly cloudy evening with a low of around 65 degrees. Now let's take a look at our community calendar to see what's happening in the area. Claremont's annual Lollipop Carnival will be held tomorrow from 10:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Barnes Park. There'll be a variety of games, contests, and rides with lollipops to be used as currency for all activities. Cost is $1 for 10 lollipops, and more information can be found at ClaremontNH.com. Friday Night Bingo at KJ's Place on River Street in North Springfield, Vermont will be held tomorrow with games beginning at 6:30 p.m. Cost is $15 per package and doors open at 5. Both Newport, New Hampshire and Bellows Falls, Vermont will host their weekly farmers markets tomorrow, with Newport's taking place on the town commons from 3 to 6 p.m. and Bellows Falls happening right downtown on Canal Street from 4 to 7 p.m. Both markets will be held rain or shine. Well, yesterday marked the first official day high school football teams were allowed to take the field for practice. So I headed over to Monadnock Park in Claremont to ask Stevens head coach Paul Silva what he thought of the turnout on day one.
Yeah, actually, Mike, we're down a little bit. We got, I think we've got 31. I'd like to get around 36. I've had 36 for the last 3 or 4 years. So, I don't know, it seems to be, numbers seem to be down, or, from some of the other coaches I've talked to. I don't know. Again, it's early, so some guys come out, after they find out into the summer. You try to advertise it as best you can, but yeah, I'd like to get a few more for sure. Well, I've been real happy with what we've done today. This morning we had a real good practice. This afternoon's been a good practice. They're working hard. They're enthusiastic. Again, double sessions are tough. It's conditioning, early morning, still in the middle of the summer. But I was real happy with the work ethic we got this morning and this afternoon.
I also asked how long the grueling 2-a-day practice schedule would last.
We'll be going doubles the rest of this week and next week, and then we get into scrimmage schedule, and then school starts the next week. So we'll probably end the double sessions, I would guess, after next week is my plan.
The Cardinals will play in their first preseason scrimmage August 22nd over in Kearsarge. And turning to baseball, the New Hampshire Fisher Cats will try and put an end to its 4-game losing streak tonight when it hosts the Akron Rubber Ducks at 7. That's been your look at local sports. I'm Mike Pizzone.
Thanks as always, Mike. Next, we'll wrap up our Capital Connection series for this week. John O'Connor will conclude his conversation with Steve Geller of the Southeastern Vermont Community Action Group. We'll be right back.
The YCN News continues in a moment.